Hello everybody, and welcome to a channel update video and Pax East recap video all folded into one, because I thought that would be fun. I'm also testing out a new way of doing things, because when you're doing YouTube and Twitch, it's always about experimenting, trying to find new and different ways to do things. So with this particular program, I have the ability to do stuff like this, to where I can actually quickly switch in between videos and screens, and whatever I want to show, I can do it on the fly. So, kind of messing with some stuff. So yeah, PAX East happened this last weekend, and because of this, my video release schedule is going to be messed up for the next week. And then in addition to PAX East, there's also 3 pretty good games coming out this next week. You've got Ori and the Blind Forest, you have got Cities Skylines, and then the third one is Sid Meier's Starships. So I'm going to try and cover all 3 of these. I think I might only be able to get to 2 of them this week, and then I think Ori and the Blind Forest is going to come up a little bit later. But I'm going to definitely get to those 2 and then try and release those 2 videos as soon as I can, and I'm probably going to be streaming some of them on Twitch as well, so that should be fun. So, just in case you were wondering, it's like, why isn't there a video being released on Monday or Wednesday or whatever? That is going to be the reason why. I think they're probably, I'm trying to think, I believe one of them is coming out Tuesday. I forget which one it is off the top of my head, so there should be a video for Wednesday. So, just keep an eye open for that. So let's briefly talk about PAX East. There was a few interesting announcements there. Most of it was actually Blizzard related. Blizzard had a big showing on Friday, and then the rest of PAX East was panels and just looking at indie games and that sort of thing. So the first one I'm just going to briefly mention is we'll bring up Heroes of the Storm. I've got my first look video on this already out if you haven't already seen it. But they announced that Sylvanas, Windrunner, is going to be the newest playable character in that game. And I believe they're going to be announcing even more playable characters as time goes along. Heroes of the Storm is definitely not as complex as League of Legends or Dota. It's sort of a simplified version of the MOBA game in general. But still, it's not bad by any stretch of the means. Next, we'll move on to Overwatch. Overwatch is the new IP that Blizzard is currently working on, and they went ahead and announced these 2 new characters for that game. You've got McCree, who's a gunslinger, and Zahara, who is, I believe she's a melee tank, if I remember correctly. But they've got a pretty good cast of characters going for that game, and I've heard nothing but positive reviews and early looks at Overwatch. Everybody just can't wait for it to come out and to continue to get their hands on this game. So it should be pretty cool and fairly big when it's definitely released. Next, we'll switch on over to Hearthstone, which, again, I told you guys in the past, I play a ton of Hearthstone. I've probably put in the last 3 days, at least, just off the top of my head, at least, 5 hours of Hearthstone? But I really don't do too many videos on it. But what we have here is we have a new adventure mode that was announced for Hearthstone. It is indeed Black Rock Mountain. And so there's going to be, I believe it's 17 raid bosses that you'll get to fight as part of this. So it should be pretty cool, and I'm definitely going to be doing some videos on it. I think these adventure modes will be fun to sort of see and work up some constructed decks to try and beat them. And Hearthstone in general with these adventures are taking somewhat of a funny route with them, so should be pretty interesting. Next, we'll move on to this game. This is the new Final Fantasy. And in the past couple of years, some might say that Square Enix has really gone downhill with the Final Fantasy series. But after their showing at E3 and a little bit of PAX South and now PAX East, a lot of people are starting to really come back on board with Final Fantasy. I've got to say, this new one that they've got out, or is coming out, I should say, it really reminds me of more of an MMO, or more of like Dragon Age or Mass Effect. It's like where you have your character and you've got sort of a team that's running around with you, and the combat is much more quick action melee based. You can kind of see some of it on the screen here, but it's definitely very different. It was a game that was not even on my radar at all. And now it's kind of back on my radar. I'm definitely taking a good look at it, saying, it might be on my buy list. I'm going to have to watch some more on it, though, and really see how it turns out, I think. And then finally, we've got, as I sort of mentioned before, here's Ori and the Blind Forest. This is the game that was announced at E3, and when the trailer came out, literally everyone cried. It was like the most emotional trailer that has come out like in the last 5 years. It was fantastic. And so this, what you're seeing on screen, is the new gameplay trailer, and it's like the music and visuals in this game are just absolutely fantastic and stunning. It's just, you just watch it, and you're just like, oh, that little white fox thing, whatever it is, it's just, he's so cute and cuddly, and you don't want him to get hurt and all this stuff, so, oh. But I think that's pretty much it. I really didn't see any indie games at PAX that really blew me away at all. Usually you see a couple where it's like, that's kind of interesting. But I didn't really see anything that, like I said, blew me out of the water, so to speak. So it was mostly just these games here. And yeah, Final Fantasy. Combat looks really interesting. It's very fast paced, and it's like each of your guys is a little bit different. It's like one guy, the blonde guy's got like a pistol. You have like a sword, and there's a heavy sword guy, like that guy right there. He's got the big sword, like the classic Final Fantasy sword. So, yeah, I don't know. Definitely have to look deeper into that one. But I think that will go ahead and do it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Thank you so much for watching. And with that being said, everybody keep playing and have fun.